was a lot of work. But I'm so excited for everybody to see what I've been doing. I'm just going to sit here, have a glass of toxic tea, and wait for the crowd to show up. Oh my God, they're already here. They're here.
You ghouls get to work. I'll play something for the guests.
I'm coming.
Hey, what are you doing? Turn around and walk away.
Y'all, don't listen to him. Hey, we're Southern. We're supposed to be hospitable. The queens of hospitality. Yeah, I know, but most of us are. Anyway, I'm so glad you're here. I hope you're here to see part 3 of the home tour. I put my extra fancy hat on for you. I hope you like it. Come on in. I always try to have a greeter on my kitchen island. I just think it looks so cheery during the holiday season. And there's that really cute Joanna Parker cookie jar that I found, and also lovingly staring up at his friend, the ceramic ghost carrying a trio of pumpkins. My daughter actually wants me to paint that black because she thinks it really does look like Ghostface, and I just might do it, y'all. I love reimagining things that I find out in the wild, even if they're brand new, just to give it a more unique perspective that works with our home. The Yankee Candle wax warmer I got at Goodwill for a few dollars. It's vintage. The little cat lid there that doesn't actually go on that but works perfectly is also from Yankee Candle. I found at a different, I think it was a consignment store. And I love it because it protects the wax when I'm not using it. And of course, cats love warm places, don't they? If you have plates, a really good trick is to use plate stands and wire hangers. You can see those in the very back wall there. That helps with displaying holiday plates that you're not really sure what to do with. That's an old hack from our grandmothers used to do that with their fancy dishes. On the back side of the island, this is my prep and cook station. You will notice that I don't have a stove, but I have hot plate. This started out as a temporary fix when my husband to remove the stove top because it had shorted out, and I bought those as just a quick fix. And then quickly realized that I love using them because it gives me now a surface here to work on. It's a prep station I didn't have before. Planning to remodel the kitchen, so until then, those hot plates are working just fine. On my cookbook stand, I have the book by Silver Raven Wolf called Shellohween. And I have had this book since the 90s when I was first kind of dabbling in learning about Wicca. I'm not Wiccan, but I love the book for all of its wonderful spells, recipes, great woodcut illustrations. I've worn the heck out of it, used it over the years, and I just really love this book. The bookmark is from It's a Charming Life. They're on YouTube. It's a wonderful young couple that I found during the pandemic, and they really changed my life and how to live a more authentic life. Our cabin does not have a formal dining room, so this is our breakfast nook / dining area. I've set the table so beautifully for you guys. This is a really nice dark macabre aesthetic. I'm going to turn the lights on so you can see a little bit better. The pedestal table we picked up at a local store in our area. It's wood and it's a little uneven, so in the center I set a glass round top just in the middle because I didn't want to take away from the wood effect. It helps keep the glasses and all the little things stable and flat, and this is a good trick if you have an uneven textured antique table. The salad plate is from Home Goods. It is the Royal Staffordshire, and I also got these really cool kind of witchy apothecary ones. I think those I got at Marshall's, same brand. I liked this because it's a little more fun for the kids. It's got some spooky elements. The drinking glasses I am using are mid-century modern George Briard, and they are actually cocktail glasses. And they're really great. My husband picked those up at a Catholic charity shop years ago. I love the fact that they have the skull and crossbones and all the poison warnings on them. Strychnine, iodine, carbolic acid, etc. The bat napkin rings are from Home Goods. The plate, this is a different version of from the same set. I like this one with the eyeballs in it. I try to mix and match. I don't let myself get stressed out about things. If I can't find a whole set of something, I will just, like, for example, this is bronze and I only found the one. I like mixing metals. The little swan and the smaller little dish next to it, those are salt cellars. Look at this tiny spoon. It's so little. Those are vintage, and I just like miniatures. But also, this is a great way to add a little more finesse to your dining room table for your guests. It's what our grandmothers used to use. And you can use it on a semi or informal dining area. Why not? I mixed my napkins. I've got gold and black. The gold picks up the little moon in this plate quite nicely. And there's some spider napkin rings, so I mixed the spiders and the bats. Those little knives are actually appetizer knives, and each one says something on it, like deadly or poison or wicked or toxic, like so many of our friends are. Just kidding, just kidding. But it's a great way to add a little accent to your napkin, and it serves also as a butter knife. I find I like to use a knife for the butter, but I don't like to use my salad knife because I don't like cold butter on my salad knife. Does that make sense to people? I have a lot of little vintage things here on the table, like the silver plate tray that I'm using, silver tray there in the middle. Those are also vintage George Briard salad cruet set with vinegar and oil. There's the other little swan with the lid on it. The little skeleton lights are actually tequila shot glasses, and those are little skulls. I got those from Home Goods. There's that beautiful black candelabra from World Market. And just showing you guys this area again, I've added some little night lights, votives, and things. And I don't know if I showed you guys this little wicked skeleton lady from last video, but got her from a seller on Etsy, and I love her. She goes nicely with my other Day of the Dead pieces. And I did get that plate. I got 2 of those from Marshall's. I liked the design on it. And that black and white plate I got years ago at Tuesday morning, I think. And the rest of just another little quick glimpse of the window decor, the little spooky town set and village that I created at nighttime, so you can see it and you can see how the lights kind of shine behind. This was a cool silhouette house. I got that at World Market, and it actually is solar, which I didn't realize it when I was showing it to you guys in the video, and it actually works really well. I can't tell you how exhausting it is constantly to change out batteries and tea lights and battery operated tea lights, or being careful about, having votive candles burning all the time. So I liked that. The problem is I'll have to set it out in a sunnier area or brighter area so it gets enough light during the day. But yeah, the spooky village looks really great at night, and the kids are absolutely loving it. This just continues off from the dining area. These are my collection of seasons gone by Halloween candy containers or buckets. That's one of the first ones I got. There's a little Joanna Parker salt and pepper shaker set, and another one of those candy buckets. I put my plants in orange and black and white pots, of course, so it kind of works with the same color aesthetic that I've got going on. And yes, it is a lot going on, but it all works together really well because of the colors, and that's kind of key when you have a kind of cluttered look. I'm sensing that you all might need some coffee beans for your eyes, so here's a soothing basket of snakes to look at. I made these, and they're sitting in an actual little French wire egg basket that you can hold your eggs in. Those are all plastic except for one. The lighter colored one is actually a real hen egg that was sort of a soft green color anyway. And the other ones I just painted a little bit darker, and you can see the little snakes hatching out everywhere. This was so fast, simple, and quick to do. I just slapped on some paint, popped a hole in each one, and put some little snakes from Michael's in there. The plate is the other one from Marshall's from the Royal Staffordshire collection. So funny story about the pears I showed you guys in the last video. The first year we were here, I was so excited because we had a pear tree. So I waited all summer and I went out there to get a pear, and there was only one literal pear on the tree. And I was so crestfallen. The squirrels, crows, and deer had picked it clean. So this is our 4th year, and I'm so excited to actually have pears. All right, the owl I painted, I picked that up from Goodwill. It was a solid white plaster piece. I collect owls, love them. I always try to grab them if I find one I like. And then this is the back side of the family room that I showed you guys in the very first video. I made a shadow box out of an old Coke crate. You're going to see a lot of little cute Halloween things here. I did the embroidery. It's a pumpkin man. About 2 years ago, I started doing embroidery during the pandemic, and I made a piece every season. I collect these Hallmark haunted houses. They're just Halloween cards that you can send to folks. And you'll see these 3 little dolls. There's a little blonde boy, a little dark-haired witch, and a little tiger suit guy. I'll tell you about him in a minute. This owl I made from a tutorial from Christopher Heidemann. I love him. If you guys don't know who he is already, please go follow him on YouTube. He does great decor and Halloween tutorials. Okay, so back to these little guys. Oh, and those horses belong to my great-grandmother. She collected them. The blonde is a little porcelain doll. He looks like my youngest son when he was a little boy. The dark-haired witch looks like my oldest daughter. And then that fun little clad Annalie doll represents my oldest son. When he was 5, my mother made him a costume that looks identical to this. And later on in the season, I found that doll in a home decor shop, and I could not believe it, and that was back in the 90s. So he started my collection. In the shadow box, just a little close-up of some of the items. I've got some vintage 40s, metal Halloween noisemakers, just Halloween-themed or Halloween-inspired things, some stamps. There's another noisemaker. I have a tiny little cat measuring tape, if you can see it right there. It's super cute. I got that at Home Goods. It's a really cool, just a hurricane silhouette. I like the silhouette stuff. It's very pretty and bright. This is a buffet, and it is in the dining room kitchen area. On that buffet, I have my Troll cookbook, which is one of my most prized cookbooks. It was written by Karima Kamel, and she owns Castle in the Air in San Francisco. She's an artist and a creative and does some really cool stuff. Another little appetizer plate that I got from Target, and I just put him on a plate stand. On the silver serving tray, I've got a Michael's miniature haunted house that I actually kind of embellished and reimagined. I'm not finished with the interior of it, but on the exterior, I did a Sculpey faux stone, and I have a couple more of these I was planning to do. I have not really fleshed this one out yet. It's not done, but I do have a few cool little collectibles, miniature collectibles in it right now. I'm just going to kind of work on this over the next year. And another one of the little haunted houses on the top, the little greeting cards. You can see on the sides here. I do have a TikTok if you guys want to see how this looked when I was working on it. I believe there's some videos on TikTok or on my Instagram. And yeah, the buffet I'm not 100% happy with right now. I'm working on it still. The little light fixture I got from Joanne, the little light bulb I should say. I love those. I've got them in some of my hurricanes. It kind of gives a real old world spooky effect. And oh yeah, there's a postcard from Karima right there. There's a lot of cards here on a display piece that I have. I just collect Halloween cards. People send them to me. Some of the vendors are on Etsy are really cool that have Halloween shops. They always have the cutest thank you cards. And there's an Ellen Clapsaddle card. Her cards are quite collectible and have a lot of value. This one's dog-eared, so even back in the 90s, I still paid a pretty penny for it. It's one of my favorite cards. I love the little children on it. The little owl. I use, I leave things everywhere all the time. Little cameo. I use flower frogs to hold those. There's some dried hydrangeas from outside from my plant, and a little vintage style pumpkin. This is an Ellen Clapsaddle card that I got this year. Like I said, they're very expensive. hard to find, and really it's a splurge. I don't really anticipate buying a whole lot of these cards in the future unless I can just find them at a reasonable price. The reproduction ones that are out there are just fine. The little S pumpkin that my daughter gave me, I just repainted it and made it look a little bit more natural orange. And another little sort of ghosty candy bucket that I had there. There's my husband's cauldron from his family. It's down there on the ground. This is a Rachel Ashwell spiderweb tablecloth that I bought last year, and I just threw it on my chairs because they are red floral and they kind of clash a little bit with what I've got going on in here. And this is just to show you the ceiling of how the cabin looks. I call it our hobbit hole. We've got a very mixed mash of looks going on, that's for sure. Over here, I have a funeral mortuary basket. These are old florist baskets, and they're quite hard to find. I just made a funeral arrangement in there. It's a great Halloween prop. I put just a little styrofoam tombstone inside, hung a bat, some branches, and some silk florals from Michael's, and some black ribbon. The Hocus Pocus doorstop is from Home Goods. I got a couple. It's a little drafty here in the cabin. This basket is dried pumpkin stems. If you go to any pumpkin patch, they're usually laying all over the place. You may not have noticed them before, but if you ask nicely, they're usually pretty cool to give them to you if you need them for any craft projects. This is our bar and our bar cabinet, and inside I try to do a spooky feel in here as well. I've got some cool old bottles here that I bought from a seller online. They're Prohibition era liquor bottles, and I just thought the pattern was beautiful. I got those from my husband for his birthday. Apparently they remodeled their house and they found them in the walls, which I thought was cool. I haven't been able to find any more online. And just a collection of more of our stemware. I love the little tequila bottles, the little skull Day of the Dead tequila bottles. Canters, and actually they're becoming quite collectible in themselves. Here is the gourd I showed you guys before that I painted and carved, and I just put a little witch hat on her. That was very cute. Just more baskets, and this entryway is the one that goes into our living room and then over into our family room. I am really proud of this guy. This is Dandolph Gumbledore, and I made him. I get all the time, is that Gandalf? Is it Dumbledore? Well, actually, I made this because I saw a wizard in Grandin Rd's catalog that I really wanted, but it was $600 and I couldn't justify it. So I just made it, and I've never made something like that, especially that size before. He is part paper mache, the face and the hands, the body I constructed, and I actually showed how I did that on my TikTok and Instagram as well. This is the area under our staircase. It's a spiral staircase, and I just created what I thought a little wizard's cave would look like. He's got his potion bottles and magic elixirs and pumpkins. The gourd there is one that I illustrated, and it's a hobbit hole, and I really am proud of that too. It took me a few years to finish it, but I finally did. Some more velvet pumpkins from Hot Squash, and the brown one I actually made myself using the real pumpkin stems, and I embroidered this, and I kind of made him have little poofy leaves on top. So he's fun. I like him a lot. And I stuffed it the same way, so it has the same feel and not like a styrofoam ball like some of the reproduction ones. I also have a tutorial on how to make those bottles I'm going to be posting. And this was the children's reading book nook. So there's still books on the staircase, and it's a spiral staircase. We've covered it with Alabama supplejack vines from our property. And to Dandolph, he has a pipe that I bought from a seller on Etsy. That was another birthday present to my husband. That's my husband's compass walking stick. I dressed him in some of my husband's Renaissance Fair gear, some scarves, fabric that I had, a tablecloth, just whatever I could find. The green shirt I got at the Scots Fest for myself and never ended up using it, so I put it on him. The dragon is from Walmart. I made the hat, and that was a fun project. I think I'm going to make these and sell them, and you can see it comes off. He looks a lot like my husband, by the way. I'll throw a picture up of Max so you can see. and just some cool accessories. The wand is from our Harry Potter party, and the horn, my husband has a collection of those. I'm just going to show you the Hobbit gourd again that I painted, and I also used Prismacolor markers, and they work really well on this kind of a hard surface. I had really good luck with it, and it was an experiment. And finally, I wanted to show you those cute witch hat candles that I got from Cost Plus World Market. I love them. They work great in my Grandin Rd taper candlesticks that make them look like they have little heads. I did light them so you could see how they look. Don't worry, I blew them out because they're right next to those branches. But I tell you why I do this. It's because I always burn my taper candles that are in any of my candlesticks, just so that they look like they're actually being used and they're not a prop, if that makes sense. It's an old decorator tip. For the most part, I actually use all of my taper candles. That's why I was super excited to find the black ones. That is it, guys, for part 3 of the home tour. I am really just stunned and appreciative of all of the new subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch my little YouTube channel. I already hit 1,000 subscribers, and I don't even know what to say about it. It's pretty awesome. So you guys rock. Thank you. This is something I've wanted to do for a very long time, and you like me. You really like me. If you know, you know. Anyway, I will be posting a part 4, a part 5, possibly a part 6. We have an upstairs and we have an outdoor area, and that we're doing a graveyard scene in, and our front porch. So I hope you all are having a wonderful evening. I'm going to have a little nightcap and watch an old movie, and I'll see you next time.
I guess I'll be in charge of the cleanup crew. Now, where have those wraiths gone off to? Wraiths.